Well, welcome to the Homeless Surfer channel. I'm Destry Wade, your host. Glad to have you here. It's a beautiful Thursday, the 19th. Happy birthday to my brother. It's his birthday today. Guys, please remember to help me out here. We're starting to grow and I'm getting stoked. Now I'm getting all anxious and pissy about it. But please like, share, and subscribe. Very important. I'm going to start doing some special stuff with the subscriptions. I've already got some downloads coming out. Also, please on Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, take a look at that on the shop section. I've got the books coming out now. I've got some videos that are going to start going on YouTube now as well, starting by the end of the week. Um, you know what we're doing? We're starting a business from scratch, and yeah, definitely from balls down scratch. But I'm stoked about it because from absolutely zero, with a little bit of help from you guys from YouTube and AI, we've been able to really put something together here that I'm really stoked about. We're gonna we're gonna get this done. We're gonna will it to be. That's all there is to it. Um, you know, the Be Best Media idea was a blessing, and for some reason, thank God, I had the motivation to grab hold of it at this point in my life and say, you know what, let's check this out. And so here we are, and it's really taken off. The only limitations are the ones that are just reality limitations. Um, I've got it ready to go more and more. For instance, let me see. I'm looking here, trying to find. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. Oh, I got the budget finalized now. Now, remember, we're starting from zero. This is free housing. I don't pay rent. I don't have disability or any of that coming in. I've got disability general relief, which is a total of with bus fare is $598. No, 603. I'm sorry, it went up. Wow, $5. So I get that every month while I'm waiting for disability to come, which when disability comes, it's gonna be basically the same. It just replaces the county money. So with the housing, the food stamps, and the general relief, I basically have a budget of $300 a month for food. And if you shop around and you're smart about your food, a single person, especially as you get a little older, I'm not growing, I'm not gaining, I'm not eating tons of protein. Um, is really sufficient. 400 was perfect during. I got to admit, during COVID, when they were giving you 400, you actually had enough to really just buy out the groceries. You could buy milk and things like that, butter, maybe a spice or something, But 300, it's good enough to feed you and keep you nourished. So, oh, hold on, this is our thing. God, this is ridiculous. See, this is public housing. They stick an announcement in your freaking house, and I got to sit and listen to it. Now imagine if you're laying here sick or napping, trying to get through the day, and then we got to do Spanish. So of course, fucking California. But we'll let this interfere with the thing, and I'll keep talking over it, and hopefully, well, it'll go away here in a minute once they're done telling everybody they're going to have thoughts and prayers downstairs. I love that crap. These people are mostly insane or drug addicted. They don't care about thoughts nor prayers. But anyway, so that's over. Isn't that annoying? Seriously, you're sick or you're laying here trying to take a nap early or anything, because it's going to come back. They're going to announce it again, probably right after. Hopefully, I'll get through this before these idiots come back and re-announce the reflections, which should be illegal. Why can they do that? I don't want announcements in my house. Do you have announcements in your house? Never lived in a house or an apartment in my life where I had to fucking deal with announcements. But then again, I always say, for nothing, what do you want for nothing, man? Shut up and enjoy it. And I do. I appreciate it. I have uh, great joy in my heart for the community members that have actually put these things together, and we do need to do that. The problem with the situation is it's not that the community is not awesome. The community is so good in California. They put 24 billion over the last 5 years into helping people like me get back on their feet, get things rolling again. And and in a lot of situations, they've done great work. They really have. And again, I look at the community, the people that are actually paying those taxes that are going to these programs, and they're not mad about that, but they want to see them work, and they will. If you ever want to solve this problem, and I brought it to them before, and I'm going to bring it to them again in election season, you got to get people in there that are still a little bit intelligent, but have lived the experience. Because I know what the problems are from living in your car, what that feels like, what problems you run into, what solutions need to be placed. Uh, to when you're pushing around a shopping cart, I know what's going on with those folks. I know what's going on with the junkies. I know what's going on with the retirees and the medical people. There's groups, and if you start taking them properly instead of bulking them, what they do is they throw everybody into this cauldron, and we're all the same. We're all just homeless. That's easy. It just takes money. We got to build houses. We got to do this. We got to put up tents. We got to, and it's bullshit because the bottom line is everything they're doing is way overpriced. Even this building, I was very familiar and have been involved in construction and building stuff my whole life, and everything in these buildings, this building specifically, is the cheapest, down lowest shit they could find, from the toilets to the sinks to everything. And again, it's free, so not complaining. But if you're going to build something that's going to last, this isn't the way you do it. And you got to remember, you're bringing people, basically, like I said the other day, they've turned to wild animals. They're in pure survival mode. They don't know anything else but how to survive their day. Okay, and keep in mind the power of their shit is they somehow come up with 50 to 100 a day to support their habit, but they can't feed themselves. So consider that. If we're gonna fix it, you got to fix it in the right areas. Just having a roof over your head doesn't help. In fact, there's plenty of people where I grew up in PB and La Jolla area have $1 million homes and have nothing but $1 billion problems. So anyway, that's that. But so the BBS Media thing is really come together. Um, I sat down and I created an entire flow chart. Oh, and the that's what I was telling you real quick was the budget. So here's what we've done, and this is starting from zero. Like we said, this computer came from a trash can. Rehabbed a little bit, and for $10, I got a chance to start something, and here we are. So that's what we're doing. And now because what the main source of income again wasn't this YouTube channel, it was based on the book sales. Designing the books was the most important thing, and being put in a position where I could design enough books in a timely manner to actually start a business from zero, because you can't drag on forever. Not and that's the good thing. I am in a position because I don't need money. I'm basically broke as shit. I get that $500 a month in my bus pass, which gets me around. But for instance, let me give you an example. And this is new. Even the damn budget thing. After being homeless for years and then being in a hospital for years and sick, I didn't do this. This is a budget. I haven't written a budget in years. But look, I mean, my budget's so simple. You got cigarettes, of course, a couple $100 there a month. They've gone through the roof, but that's what it's good. Smoking is a lot less prevalent than it used to be. And then you got the phone, of course. You got to pay. I got to pay for the phone service, which also includes the internet service for this, which I should start, and I probably will actually. Now that I think about it, push that over to the business expense side. But right now, it's a personal budget because it's only the one time a month income you have. So you gotta do it right. Of course, I've got laundry. Laundry runs me $20 with machines that don't work. They're all broken and been fucked with here, but we do the best we can with them. And then I got my bus pass is $75. I got the subscriptions. Now that's the new thing. The subscriptions are basically $55 a month. Now I've got those down finally because I started signing up for stuff and forgot what I signed up for because there's so much going on. You know what I mean? Some stuff was free to try, other stuff I did want to keep. So for instance, ChatGPT, that's my main bot that I like personally. Um, I just started with it, and I'm that guy. I go back to the same store my whole life. I stay in the same area. I like the same people. I'm just really not Mr. Comfortable with strangers. So based on that, I'm going to stick that mentality, that trait. ChatGPT is going to be my thing. Now, on my level, based on you can, and that's the nice thing. You can go into the AI and you can tell it, okay, here's what I'm going to do. This is my workload. This is how many books I'm going to make a month, how many pixels I'm going to, the whole thing. And then they can break that down. And for me, it's going to cost me, it's $20 a month, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than paying for an illustrator. And that's what it's doing for me, the Chat GPT, as far as the books go. And that, to me, that's the most important thing, because that's what I'm doing, is the books, and the different forms of those books. And it's getting stoked, dude. I'm getting so stoked. I started with the Jay and Gray Adventures, which is just good life lessons for kids. And I'm building the crap out of that. I've already got 100 different ones here. These are all the Jay and Gray stories I still have to do, and those are just the titles. So I haven't even done the breakdowns on those. So Jay and Gray's rolling, and that's on the that's on the shop of my Buy Me a Cup of Coffee thing. So take a look at it, man. They're coming out really cool. I'm stoked about that. And I don't really get impressed by my own work typically, but in this case, I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked. I like it. If I like it, I'm pretty picky about liking shit. So anyway, it's proved in my life to be a good trait. So anyway, that's $20 a month that it's going to cost me to pay ChatGPT, which again is Google. It's all goes to Google. Honestly, I wish you could just write a check to Google and just say here, other than one, because you got to pay for Word now, which is crazy. But anyway, okay, so that's Chat, and that does that basic stuff. It also does my legal, my business stuff really well. So I'm going to keep that, and that don't cost you nothing. When you're not doing images, you can use free Chat and get by with that. But for me, because of the illustrations, I have to go with a paid plan, and there's an $8 plan too. If you're just doing like little stuff for your kids or something, I think that'd be a good plan. You can do quite a bit with that, but not at a commercial type scale. And eventually, I can tell based on what I'm looking at on my production sheets. I'll be into the next level of ChatGPT, which is going to be, I think it's a $200 level, and then I'm going to add Grok to it, which is another 200. So that'll be 400 eventually, just for me. That's just my needs on what I'm doing on my float workflow, and I'll go into that here in a second. Why I say that. OpenArt is going to do the books. So I take the ChatGPT kids books that I made, I load them into OpenArt. A few prompts later, I've got a cartoon of that book. It's really freaking awesome. And then I'm gonna take that and we're gonna put that on a YouTube Kids channel, and let the kids enjoy it, the books and the good moral lessons. On top of that, we've got other things that are on there you'll see, which is Jay and Gray Journey Through the Bible. It's going to be awesome. A kid's look at what was happening during biblical times. And basically, what did they see? That's the point of that book series. Is what the kids think, man, when they saw a guy rise from the dead, and they knew that dude was dead. What do the kids? What do the 8-year-olds tell each other that day? So that's what that one's about. And then the other one's the historics. The history is going to be done with my youngest granddaughter. I'm going to call it Aurora B. Aurora B is going to go through the history of the United States, the history of the world, and just basically be a 15-minute visitor and observer of what was going on. So, and do it based in the foundations of old school history. I know everybody's like revisionist history, blah blah blah. Bottom line is, we're Americans. This is American history. You can look at it both sides. That's awesome. You should. You really should. But you need to know what was the motivation for that? Why did that happen? Well, how do we improve from that? Because that's the one thing we have done as humans. We do improve. We do evolve. I don't believe, and there is no such thing as evolution as per se, as you know it, the terminology. But we have evolved, and we continue to evolve. Just look at your kid's fingers versus your fingers. You want something weird? I'll just throw that out to you. That'll give you an idea. So yeah. Anyway, so that's art, and that'll turn into the cartoons, and that'll be another opportunity to monetize and commercialize. Because again, this is a homeless dude, but I don't want to stay homeless. And if this goes away, and actually, I'd rather just go back to paying rent. I want to pay my own bills. That'd be great. I'll earn some money, 5,000-6,000 a month. I'm good. I'm living fat, and I don't need anything more than that, because bottom line is, this chair and this TV and this computer is all I fucking have and need. I don't need anything else. I like having the fridge and I like having the kitchen. It's nice, but my needs are met. So, and I have a bed to lay down over there on too. So, yeah, a studio apartment with a view of the ocean and a freaking San Diego atmosphere. Not bad. Okay, so with the OpenArt and the ChatGPT, we're at $34. 360 now. 360 is Microsoft. You have to buy that so you can get Word and Excel and the stuff that I used to just download it in the computer and it was done. But no, not no more. Because you also have to buy time because everything's on the cloud now. So you're buying all those AI places you say they're going to make so much money. Hell yeah, I'm buying pieces of them. So are you. So is everybody. That's future of the economy, dude. Get it, get with it, or get off it. I'm talking from a guy that totally misses the internet and the computer whole thing. Ain't missing the AI thing, dude. No way. So anyway, and then so that it's $9, $10 a month to have Microsoft. And then you've got the URL. I've got to host my URL and get the next shop because the shop I'm using on Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, they take a percentage. So like if you buy a book for $9.99, they take $1.50 of it, and then the rest gets sent to me. But I have to pay the cost of the printing of the book and stuff too. And they're not ebooks. We're not doing ebooks because I want tactile books. I want kids to be able to sit and hold a book, smell the paper of a book. Just the whole experience of vivid coloring of it, and just get the damn screens out of their hands, even if just long enough to read a story in a real book. But I'm sure in their educational pursuits these days, everything's on a tablet, which hopefully they get like I do, because I look at the internet as a great thing for research. Because I used to have to go to the library and go through Dewey Decimal and figure out my research even through college. So I really use it as that. To me, I don't do social media on it. I like to talk to people live when I'm actually having a conversation out in the real world. I like that interaction with humans. So it's yeah. So I won't worry that. But anyway, so the URL's going to be huge. Because then I can actually go out and start doing some optimization, some SEO work, which I've been studying the crap out of. And I do have some good connections in that. People that really do know what they're doing. They advertise bed and breakfasts and stuff. So yeah, I think that's going to be great. The final thing there is I need to get is just a cost per book because basically these expenses will be paid by that or by donations. So I'm looking at $55 a month. That's my total budget right now. Well, 55, and then like I said, if I put the phone and that on there 1/3, so I'm up to 185. Is that what it is? 185, 190. So 190, roughly just put 200 with your bank fees. So $200 a month it costs to run this thing basically on full. Here they come again. Jeez. I told you, and I didn't get through it. Sorry about this. Collecting our light. All right. I love it. Here we go again. Everything's got to be in Spanish. Thank God they don't do every language. At the DMV, they got like 63 of them. And then we don't need that crap anymore. You need to get out your phone and just, I can talk to somebody in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish now. It's really bitching that way. So anyway, gracias. Get the hell out of my house. It's an invasion of privacy. Especially when you're trying to do a channel and I don't do the cut thing, man. You just got to live through it. So anyway, that's at 190 is the monthly expense to this thing now. Now I can handle it. So I'm paying it out of personal expense. What I'm hoping is my great people you are, my subscribe, please. Because once I get 1,000 subscribers, and 5,000 watch hours, which once you get 1,000 subscribers, that means each person watched 5 minutes. That's nothing because my average watch time is pretty good. It's like 12 minutes. So yeah, it's weird. I do check that shit here and there and just to kind of get an idea of if we're doing it close to right. And it seems like we are because what I've done is entrusted the creators, Google, to be their own teacher. And they are. Oh, and that's something really, let me warn you about these guys. A lot of this shit going online, dude, you can figure out for free. Like I saw a guy the other day was offering these Google master classes with certificates and blah blah blah. Bullshit. He's charging for those. You can go on to Google and they give you all the classes you want for free. They'll send you a certificate and everything. They need you. Um, and they don't have. And here's the thing: they don't have. See, they're losing and they're not needing um, software writers or what are they programmers anymore. AI can program all on its own. What they need is AI teachers to teach AI scenarios, real world. Like I said, it's like a Waymo. You got to drive. Somebody drives it around and shows it how to do that. That's where we're at with this. So that's why everybody don't trip so fast. Well, yeah, it's moving fucking fast. Don't get it wrong. I've seen it in the last couple of months that I've been messing with it, even improve, specifically on animation and stuff like that. We're going to be able to make movies from this in another year. I mean, and good ones where people, you'll be paying actors won't come act no more. You'll just use their image and pay them for their likeness, and they'll make great money doing that and not have to do shit. But if their face sells, it sells. So that's where we're coming, man. We're heading that way. And keep in mind, because of the gig economy, because of the things that are changing with human labor, entertainment's going to be huge. The biggest human need is going to be entertained. And it is now because you got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, people telling you shit. But that's changing because what's going to happen is we're going to get sick of hearing all this stupid shit and we're going to look for entertaining and enjoyable things to watch. Kind of like my great grandma had this whole day long TV series of stuff that she loved. Even though there's 3 channels to choose from, she had one every hour, she had another place to be. And I think that's going to come around more and more with this, specifically because, yeah, it's just going to come around with this. I'm going to leave it at that. But anyway, so what's bitching is I got this stuff going here. Well, that's my flow chart. And what's on there, of course, is Be Best Family Media. Let me see if I can do this a little bit. Okay, I don't know if it comes out backwards or what, but Be Best Family Media. There we go. Be Best Family Media is the main organization. That's the one that everything's going to fall under. It has 2 separate forms or 2 separate primary divisions. It will be eventually with different people will be operating them. One's the YouTube channels, and that was late. Like I said, that was a discovery after I went for the books, trying to get research on the books and running into this and going, holy crap, I can market the books. But now this thing's turning out, this could be a really good source of revenue, a huge source for marketing and advertising, sales, interconnections, book sales, personal time. I love this. I love this format. I really do. It's cool. Hey, I like that better, huh? Being up. Can't see the basketball hoop, but I like it. I look better. So, damn, my TV would work. Okay. Anyway, so and then the other side is the books, and the books and is all print only. So over here we've got you got the Adventures of Jane Grey, the educational series with um, Aurora B, and then I've also got the inspirational series, more of a spiritual series, which is going to be My Brother's an Angel, which is my featuring my daughter and my passed away son, who she doesn't have in her physical life anymore, but I know she's got in her spiritual life. So those stories are going to be all based on that and her interaction with, and it's titled "My Brother is an Angel." No, really, and it's a cute kid's way to look at things without getting too. I don't want to get into death or any of that stuff, too deep stuff. Just that you always watch. Those that love you are always there, and that's kind of the gist of the whole of that series. So we've got that one going out. And again, the Bible. The Bible, I think, is going to be a huge one. I'm making that really cool. I'm doing it with AI. It's a little slower because AI, it just makes mistakes. But all employees make mistakes, right? That's why you're the boss. You got to correct that and move on. So that's what we did with the Bible, and it's really starting out. Like I said, check the shop on my buy me a cup of coffee because you can see that we got the cover going and we've got the basic script written, and we've got the what do they call those things? the code, the code written. Copy the code, man. It's amazing. That's what they find. The code's good. It's getting better. Like I said, it's gotten way better, and it just every day it multiplies itself now. So it's rewriting itself over and over again every day. It's just amazing. Like I said, it might be scary. Um, so that's that. And then the YouTube channels, I'm going to have 3 separate YouTube channels going on. One's going to be this one, the Homeless Surfer. The other one, and we may merge these two together, but I kind of want to have different. The Homeless Surfer is more me kind of explaining the business, the homelessness, the surfer vibe that I am. I'm kind of explaining who the hell I am, is what it is, and what I see and have seen and believe, and will continue to believe. So, and try to coach and preach and show and lead. I've always been a leader, so let's lead and let's manifest. Remember, yesterday's conversation is we're manifesting this thing, dude, and this is happening. I'm already manifesting it. We're done. We're doing it. It's just, yeah. It's like Rommel said in freaking Dogtown in the Z Boys. He goes, yeah, we were doing, we were doing it. Yeah, You've made it. You're there. Like I said, you're in eternity, bro. Quit trying. You made it. Here you are. Dig it. Start living it instead of tripping on it. Cheapers. Anyway, so we're gonna manifest this, and we are. All these things are freaking just about done. I got the books done. The books are done. 5 6 series of books are now in production. I just have to keep producing them. And the way I'm sleeping right now, because I'm so excited about this shit, I'll keep producing them. I'm overproducing them actually right now, but I'll catch up eventually, hopefully. But the YouTube channels, of course, and then the third channel in the YouTube sphere is going to be The Adventures of Jay and Gray, where I'm basically turning the books into the channels. Or I'm not. AI is. Thank you. Real easy. You know what kind of money that? I mean, that's the thing. All these things are great, but you know what kind of money used to be made doing those things? Now it's going to be building the places that are doing those things. Is how the money is going to be made. It's changing, and you got to change with it for sure, or you're going to get left behind. The guy that sold ice blocks to people that actually had back in the old day, the refrigerator was called an ice box. That's what my grandma called it all her life, all my life. I used to laugh at her. What's an ice box, Grandma? You mean a refrigerator? They called it an ice box because it was really a fucking ice box. And there was a guy that drove around in a tractor from town with big blocks of ice that they just stuck at the bottom of these things. And what we now call the crisper was used to be the ice block. And that'd keep your shit for about 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And they got better and better. They started working with insulation, got better at keeping the ice from melting so quickly. And eventually they just came up with a better idea, got rid of the ice block. But so the smart dude that was delivering those ice blocks learned how to fix refrigerators or sell refrigerators. The dude that wasn't smart got pissed, fought with it, said, fuck it, I'm going to deliver ice anyway. Unless he got an ice crusher and started delivering bags of ice, which they didn't even have freezers like that back then, so he couldn't even do that. Pretty much went out of business. And yeah, he wasn't happy at the end of his life. But so you can change and adapt or not, and this is where we're at. You got to adapt to this. It's all new. It's all new. We're not going to, like I told my friend downstairs, we're not going to be digging with shovels. Our days of that is over with. We have machineries to do that. We got guys that do a little clearing, but as the robots come and develop, they're going to do that shit. And you're going to have to get used to dealing with them because you can't, like I said before, most of the people in this world can't even deal with the fact there's people of other colors, religions, cultures. How the fuck are you going to handle it when these robots are walking around amongst you? Boy, oh boy. And they don't have feelings. So it's not like you're going to hurt somebody's feelings by being mean to them. You're going to have no way to do anything. You're just going to have to hate them. And it's like iRobot. You're going to love them or you're going to hate them. They're destroying the society or they're helping me out. Grow with it. My best advice as an old man. Grow with it because it's moving forward with or without you. The computers didn't give a shit that the captain of the football team said they're stupid. And that fucking only an idiot sits there and stares at a little green dot on a screen or plays beep, beep, beep games. I'm going to go play some basketball. Don't be that guy. Really. Catch up. And catch on because it is progressive. The word progressive has a bad meaning. We're always progressive. The earth is constantly growing and moaning and changing. And it's neat that some genius in the science world happened to notice that. It's like, hey, I noticed your kid's growing from the last 2 years. Wow, you're a fucking genius, man. My kid grew in 2 years. Cool. Well, guess what? The Earth's growing too. So don't trip. Just because you're the first one to start marking down the shit on the wall. Oh, he's 4'2" now. Oh, he's 4'6". Wow, that was a heck of a summer. Yeah, that's all. That's all that's happened. When Mother Nature's done with us, she's going to wipe us out. Say, see ya. Scratch you off. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to pretty much talk about today. Was just the business that it's growing. The homeless surfer is doing what he said the hell he's going to do, and hopefully you appreciate that, and I can get you behind me and with me. Because without you guys, I ain't shit. Hey, you can put on. Look at what's that one name? That chick's name, Meghan Markle, right? Meghan Markle and Prince. Man, they keep throwing them on TV, throwing them on TV. 900 different shows they've tried with these people, podcasts, everything. Nobody wants to watch them, so it doesn't matter. They can throw them on shows all day. Hey, they got name recognition, right? But if nobody cares to watch them or they're not doing anything as far as making your life any better, what the fuck's the point? You only have so much time. You're on a limited time scale. If you're older and you're sitting around home and you're just wanting to chat with an old dude like me, that's bitching. I'm here for you and I'm going to grow and change this thing. But I'm also doing it here as a motivational speaker to say, look, you can do this shit, man. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you're dead. In fact, in this modern time, we're not even close to dead. We're not even halfway there. I guarantee you, by the time I hit 80, we're going to be able to live to 100. Yeah, it's going to be happening or past. So don't waste your time. Don't sit around and wait to die, because I did. I'm talking from experience, dude. When I came out of the hospital, I just figured, fuck it. I got about 10 years. I'll just sit here and fucking die. How screwed up was that for my poor children when their dad was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to sit here and die, smell and look bad and not shave and not do shit. Just because I'm at the end, man. No, and then, no. And then I got changed. I got changed. I got picked up. I got saved. Whatever. Like I said, I don't like the religious thing. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to tell you Jesus saves you and this and that. That's not me, man. I'm going to tell you there's more to this fucking universe than yeah. There's more to this universe than we know. It's real. That shit is real. And I wish I didn't know that, because it carries a weight to it. It's to let you know and not be a dick about it. Like, hey, you're not doing nothing wrong. No matter what you're doing, going to church is bitching. If that makes you a better person, go to church. If surfing makes you a better person, surf your ass off. If jumping out of airplanes, flying airplanes makes you happy, brings you joy, do it. Do it twice on Sundays. It's fine. God's not tripping on his day off. I promise. God, that whole Christian thing is beautiful because it saves so many people and it creates a lifestyle of success. If you're a good Christian, you're not going to fail at basic things in life. You're not. You're not going to cheat on your wife and have to deal with divorces. You're not going to freaking get drunk and run someone over and have to deal with court. You're not going to do drugs and have to deal with all that shit. And everybody around you too has to deal with that too. That's a fucked up thing about that. You ain't hurting yourself. I always thought for myself, I'm just hurting myself. In fact, I left home at 18 and never really hardly went back, other than when I just fell so far on my ass, I had to go back and just get a restart. But then I was back on my own. No, you destroy everything around you. That's why they don't answer your calls anymore. That's why you don't get invited to shit. Meantime, you're thinking they're just assholes. Nah, no, man. It was bad decisions, and that's what got me there. So accept that for reality, who we are and what we know. Um, what I know is more not what not to do than I'll ever know what to do. But we're going to keep moving it forward, and we're going to manifest this thing, because manifestation is real within the realm of like I said, I call it the blanket. It's actually, they call it the astrophysics. That's the blanket. Well, go check your astrophysics and you'll get what I see, what I saw when I was there. What they showed me is the answer to what the fuck is going on. Why is this like this? Why does this go like this? They didn't tell me. There was no one talking to me. It was made very clear. It was like telepathic. That's what I can say about that. It was telepathic. There was no voices. There was no visions. There was, in that time period, visions when I had to go see things from another view. Okay. And if you ever lived, as you've gotten older, you realize there's always more than one view to things. And when I was being a father, raising my children, or I was doing certain things in my life, when I was way out of hand and couldn't even see it, for some reason, I got to go back and live it, but as the other person. I got to look at my fucked up ass from the eyes of my son, from the eyes of my daughter, from the heart of my son and the heart of my daughter, and many other people in my life. I call that the repentance phase. It happened to me. I was out for 6 months, and I had to live in those places and times that have already come and gone, that will never be relived. To be forgiven, I had to understand what I put them through, what they felt. Fuck what I felt. Fuck who I am. I hurt them. I made those choices. They're my responsibility. And the only way that you're going to get past it, and that's the point, not past it. Like I told you, you're in eternity. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're here. You're basically in heaven, but you're not. It's a blanket. Just keep saying that. That's how I'm describing it. You know, how would a guy describe an automobile or a television set in zero BC? I saw this thing, and another dude was talking to me, but I couldn't touch him. There was nothing there. Oh my god! Yeah, how would you describe that? That's the only thing I can tell you. I I saw a blanket, and that's how I describe it. Like I said, I'm studying physics because it's amazing. They're saying the same shit, exactly the same shit, just in more of a scientific terminology. And please remember, God is a creator. This means He's a scientist. You know, He makes things, creates things way deeper than you and I can, because this is all just a bunch of cells, but so is this computer. So how come that computer looks like that and I look like this and talk? And this thing, he thinks, but not like I do. Anyway, crazy thoughts, huh? So, yeah, that was part of my story, man. A lot of that time was spent in the phase of what the Christian church calls, church-going folk, would call your repentance. And I grew up, I grew up Mormon, Christian Mormon. I was taught repentance, and I did repent, man. I'd go to my preacher, my bishop, they call it bishop in the Mormon church, and tell him my sins. You know, yeah, I felt up Susie on Friday night after the football game, and yeah, I pull one off once in a while. I rub one out. You know, yeah, I'm sorry, bishop. I know I'm not supposed to do that. You know, oh shit, and I had an impure thought once too. But that was a good one. I'm not going to give up that one. I'll keep that. I'm kidding. But, you know, and I repented. And that was it. And he'd pray over you and say, be free, don't do it again. Okay, till next Friday night. As long as Susie's putting out, I'm taking. So I sound like a pig, huh? But I kind of am. But anyway, I'm kidding. Um, yeah, so that was repentance. That's what I knew. And that's what I did. I even got rebaptized. I got excommunicated from the Mormon church by request at 18. My dad was upset. My family was upset. That was just the ultimate fuck you to them. I hate this church. I hate everything it stood for in my life, which was restriction and constant people telling me what to do. Everything I hated, everything I didn't want nothing to do with in my life, all the way through it to this very day. That didn't change. Hasn't changed. But anyway, so I understood repentance, but this repentance was real. That's all I can say. That's all I know. You know, I had to go back and live it in theirs and feel. It wasn't just visual. It wasn't like I get to watch myself be drunk. No, I had to feel what that was like for them. The fear. It was fear. That's what they had because they didn't know what to do. They couldn't betray. They were taught more than that, different than that by me. You don't tell my life. You don't tell what I'm doing just because you know you're special. That was a bad thing to do to a kid, dude. So anyway, I had to repent for those things and truly repent. Where you cry and you weep and you fucking feel and it hurts. It physically hurts. I'm supposed to be dead in a fucking bed over here somewhere. And I'm sitting here in physical pain, emotional, spiritual pain, far exceeding whatever that was going on over there. I don't even care. I just wanted to get through this thing that the good Lord decided I needed to take a look at and purify myself from. And I learned one other thing. Nobody knows what sins are, dude. You don't. You've been manipulated. You know, you got to remember King James, that great man that pulled the Bible together, did so in a very fucking a very selfish purpose. He was considered a weak king, and he needed to show the church who was in charge that he could do something. So he went down and raided the freaking Muslims and got a bunch of records, and we needed them. It was all part of it, though. These records, these writings, they are part of your history. They've been being written down since the beginning of time. Like I said, when I first went with a knife into a classroom and had a wood desk, the first thing I did was write "desk was here." You know, we've been doing that from the beginning of time. All of us, we want to leave a mark. You're not the only guy in the world or lady in the world that wants to leave a mark someday, or hopes someone notices you were here. No, from our very nature, from the very beginning of us, that's what we wanted to make sure. Hey, I want someone to know I was here. So they've been writing and drawing and making notes all through the history of mankind. Even before they had language, they knew how to draw pictures. Amazing, huh? So, anyway, those books are and have a lot of truth. The truths are the truth. They flowed out. The 10 Commandments are good rules. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. If you follow those 10 basic rules, you'll have a pretty decent life. And that's only 10 of them. You can get more into the other shit later, the more detailed stuff like envy, which I think envy's in the 10 Commandments even, which is wow. See, I mean, really, you look at that shit, it's like, wow, they were right. And what's amazing is you look at the Muslims, they have the same basic moralities in their writings. You go to the Jewish people, they have the same basic moralities because the Quran is a lot of the teachings of Abraham and things. Noah's and Abraham. So they have the same basic moralities that we have. The basic moralities are real and true, and there's a line of consistency through every religion, creed, culture, color. All of them have the same basic line of truth and reality. Don't lie to each other. Don't kill each other. It's a good idea not to kill each other. Sometimes we'll go, and sometimes community will go against community and war one to another, but that's not killing each other. That's warring one to another. For some reason, we still like that shit because, again, we saw it in heaven. We fought a war up there, too. So ridiculous we are. And we come down here and start fighting again. Anyway, I won't go too into that. But I've rambled on. Pretty solid today. I had a lot of my spirit. A lot of stuff starting to come up. So hopefully I don't overwhelm you with that. Because like I said, this isn't a religious channel. Hopefully it's just more of a let me contemplate some shit with you. Throw out some ideas that I have. You might say this dude's fucking crazy good. And then like I said, track the diaries of a madman because I'm losing my mind. That'll be interesting. Got to find a reason for you to watch. Maybe it is just watch this crazy guy, or maybe you have a spiritual connection because I do. I get it a lot when I'm seeing things or hear it. There's certain words. There's certain words that just trigger it. It's amazing. I just told you yesterday about the guy, the homeless guy that just happened out of his ramblings and mentioned quantum physics. What? I've been studying that. And I accidentally came across quantum physics. Quantum entanglement was where I started with quantum physics and then astrophysics. And holy shit, I did see that stuff. So, anyway, I'm going to keep on working, keep making this thing happen. I could really use your help. If I have anything good to say or anything that motivates you, gets you thinking, because you are the best, man. You got to remember that. I'm going to tell you that before I go real quick, even though we're at 42 minutes. You are the best. There is nobody better than you at being you. And be you. It doesn't matter what others think you should be. Be you. That's what you can be. My mom told me that all my life. Just be the best you. That's right. I never got what she was saying, but now I do. Be the best you. God, we all have the same basic shit going on, just in different colors. Fuck. Grab a hold of it. Stop letting it destroy you. Realize you are awesome. You're walking through eternity and enjoy the trip. Peace.